The following is an AI-based parody, created for satire and entertainment purposes. All voices, conversations, and scenarios are artificially generated and do not represent the opinions, actions, or voices of any individuals represented. This content is not meant to confuse or misinform.
It's time to wrap up the DLC missions with one of the best, Lair of the Shadow Broker.
I'm still riding the high of wiping out tons of Batarians. Nothing that happens this episode is going to top that.
Nice of you to spare a little time to help Thane with his family counseling.
I'm patient enough. I can always make time for one of the boys.
You know, I've always thought it was kind of odd that female shepherd can romance a man with a terminal illness who is estranged from his son. And on top of that, going on and on about his dead wife.
Be careful, Joe. You're going to upset some folks if you talk about how undesirable Thane's situation is.
Well, I don't have a whole lot of room to talk being a Jack simp and all. I was just curious.
I asked Melania about this once, and she just kept telling me that she could fix him over and over again.
That's pretty tame coming from her, all things considered.
She also said she wants to see what the hallucinations caused by oral contact is all about.
Okay, now that sounds more like her.
You should tell her that human to Drell skin contact can cause a small rash and itching.
I'm not going to lie to you, brother. I'm 95% sure that wouldn't stop her.
That kind of puts us shaking Thane's hand upon meeting him in a new perspective. I hope we didn't get a rash.
Well, we would have been wearing our armor at the time. Bailey, on the other hand, probably felt an itch.
The memory possessed and endowed me. I fell on my knees before her, begged her pardon.
Damn, you see Shepard lean forward? We're really into the story.
I suppose I can provide some more insight into Thane's wife, Erica. As seen in the Mass Effect Foundation comics, Erica was a lab researcher working on a vaccine to some rare Hanar disease. Some folks with, let's say, moral objections to Erica's work show up to teach her a lesson, and Thane arrives to save the day.
How romantic.
The reason Thane just so happened to be there is that he was stalking Erica after she stopped him from killing someone.
You hear that? Just stalk the person you like until they fall for you.
A disclaimer, we do not offer romantic advice here.
Too bad Thane couldn't give up the life of an assassin.
Well, Erica did support him in his decision to go freelance. Thane didn't have a whole lot of other options. He had no civilian experience.
And my enemies came for her.
Who came for her?
Of fucking course, it's the goddamn Batarians.
And of course they're slavers, because why the hell not?
I refer you to my actions last episode.
The Shadow Broker to find out who I was.
Well, that's certainly relevant to this episode.
You know what? I think I'll bring Thane along to the Shadow Broker mission so he can spin back on the broker too.
Another little revenge story.
The man responsible for killing Erica was a human called Steve K. His last words to Thane were about how Erica was apparently sweet, and that her taste was worth whatever Thane was going to do to him.
To minimize suffering. I let them linger.
Well, with that in mind, I think it's fair to say this was a 100% valid and understandable crash out.
I imagine a guy who knows how to grant death quickly is also pretty versed in the ways of drawing it out. So I'm going to believe that K. Fella regretted his words by the time Thane was done with him.
I didn't have anyone left to tell it to.
Well, Thane, half the crew is telling us about their rocky relationships with their fathers. So hearing about someone's kid for once is a breath of fresh air.
At least we can actually do something to help with Collier instead of, killing him like we did with Morin.
What a waste.
To be solitary. I'm learning the virtues of facing death with others at your side. It's a work in progress.
Have you got a minute?
I believe this is our last talk with Morden.
Personal matters on mind, actually. Got call from nephew.
I guess that means Morden is on for real.
He is on the higher end of the Solarian lifespan after all.
Following in my footsteps.
Thank God for once we have a family relationship that is totally positive.
He was suspicious. Doesn't matter. Still good to hear his voice.
The uncle and nephew bond transcends alien species, it seems.
Did for the government?
No, I'm lying, but won't pry.
Also, if the Solarians are anything like us, they can't go around spilling highly sensitive government information.
Didn't stop Morden from spilling the beans about his genophage modification.
All right, but we're on a highly secure spaceship.
To be solved. Reward for curiosity, intelligence, drama.
Those are the kinds of secrets you air out during Thanksgiving.
If discovered. Signals discourage curiosity for protection of family.
Why wouldn't everyone?
My clues that my secrets are too dangerous to be uncovered is a simple, mind your own damn business.
What kind of secrets you hiding, Barry?
You know better than to ask me that, Joe.
Contagious among humans.
You are now consciously blinking your eyes.
God damn you, Donald.
Not cool, Donald.
I can't believe that worked.
Subject yawns in response. Social empathy. Also works with dogs.
Do Salarians have dogs?
I'm pretty sure he's just saying it for our sake.
Similar to human faking a yawn. Can try, but effectiveness limited.
I get hit with a contagious yawn all the damn time.
Because you're worried we won't make it back?
No. Aware survival unlikely, but actually contacted him for family connection. Hard to imagine galaxy. Too many people, faceless, Statistics.
We just got done turning a bunch of Batarians into nothing more than statistics an episode ago.
Boy, I wish I could put a face to each of the 300,000 lives I wiped
Personal
out.
connection. Can't anthropomorphize Galaxy, but can think of favorite nephew.
Don't let all your other nephews hear that.
Everyone's got one they like more than the others. Just don't ever admit it.
16? Is he a genius or a scientific prodigy?
No, wait. Don't want to insult him. Yes, but not in manner you meant. Remember, Salarian.
You know, it's funny to think that most of the Salarians we meet in the game are probably barely pushing 20 years old.
How old is Morden supposed to be exactly?
Morden claims he's in his final decade, so assuming he doesn't live past 40, he's got to be in his 30s, which would put his year of birth sometime in the 2150s.
Gotta suck not living past 40.
Well, unlike us, Salarians don't spend a third of their lives sleeping. Their high-speed metabolism allows them to function on just 1 hour of sleep a day, so they get a lot more mileage in 40 years than we would.
Regardless. Thank you.
I know you're looking.
All right, time to get to the serious business.
It's time to turn this nerd into the shadow broker.
Absolutely.
I like how you can tell the game had to swap over to the DLC.
So you'll notice that Asari in the background there, she is a part of a side mission called The Observer, where we help Liara root out a shadow broker agent. To cut a long story short, the agent is Nyxeris.
I don't think I've ever done that side mission a day in my life.
You're not missing anything.
If you expose Nyxeris, Liara will deal with her off camera.
We don't even get to see the fight, lame.
Apparently Nyxeris was talented, and Liara admits she might have had a problem without proper warning. But Nyxeris's barriers needed work.
If she's a broker agent, it might be pretty awkward for her to be standing back there listening to all this.
Nyxeris will vanish after we begin the DLC. So let's just say she's the one who tips off the shadow broker to our actions.
Well, there she goes walking away right now.
To help recover you. They actually put Farron with me in the first place.
Farron and Liara meet and work to recover Shepard's body in the Mass Effect Redemption comic. Their major opponent is a Salarian called Tasik, who is oddly pretty big for one of his species, so large that he surprises a Krogan.
What the f***? What did they feed this guy?
Dude's main weapon is the M100 grenade launcher. Gotta put some respect on his name for that.
Tasik was the one who captured Farron after the latter buys time for Liara to escape.
So this brolic-ass Salarian is still walking the streets.
He is, yes, a little ahead of ourselves here, but Tasik is a broker agent and will still work under Liara. In fact, he becomes Farron's bodyguard.
He was double dealing for Cerberus, for the shadow broker. But in the end, he sacrificed himself for me. I owe him.
It's good to see she's moved on after getting rejected back in Mass Effect 1.
Farron and Liara are not seeing each other.
They weren't with each other that long before Farron gets captured. Plus, their relationship in Redemption was rocky at the best of times. Liara once smacked the f*** out of him with her biotics.
To do to get him back.
Any friend of yours is a friend of mine. What's the next step?
Seal off those.
Looks like things have already gone south.
We can never go anywhere without something going wrong.
I wonder whose handprint that was supposed to be there. Liara's dress has sleeves that cover her palms, and her white outfit has gloves.
What's going on?
Goddamn, the Asari baddies never stop coming.
Vassir strikes me as a career-oriented Asari. I doubt she's going to give you the time of day, Donald.
She doesn't realize who she's talking to.
Why?
Someone tried to kill your friend, Commander Shepard.
Glad Barton Joe Shepard isn't the only one with a target on their back.
People are dismissed. You can't do that.
Who's going to stop us?
We have Spectre authorization, sweetheart. If Vassir didn't let us in, we'd just overrule you ourselves.
Tila Vassir, Special Tactics and Recon.
A Spectre?
I heard your status was reinstated. Good. You're one of our most famous operatives. Might even get you to sign my chest plate.
Nah, she's definitely interested in us. That was a pickup line 100%.
I wouldn't get too attached to Vassir if I were you.
The shadow broker.
Am I tripping, or is Vassir taller than us?
Look at that tall queen.
Don't trust the heights of characters in game. Some of the taller squad mates like Rex, Garrus, Morden, and Legion are way smaller than they should be.
If Liara isn't here, where is she?
If I knew that, I wouldn't be sifting through her crap. There's no blood, no body. It looks like T'Soni got away. The sniper didn't plan on her kinetic barrier.
Hold on a second. How does she know Liara had kinetic barriers up?
Sounds like a reasonable deduction to me.
No, a reasonable deduction is the sniper missed. Mentioning her barriers is a bit too specific.
That's a surprisingly sharp conclusion for you to reach, Joe.
She stuck around for almost 4 minutes before leaving the building.
AC, how does she know how long Liara stuck around?
Okay, calm down, Phoenix Wright. We know Vassir is the shooter. We don't need you trying to flex.
You could rationalize Vassir knowing all this from security footage, but I do think her having these details hints at her knowing more than she should.
Whatever she found.
Makes sense. Haven't found it yet, though. You knew T'Soni better than I do. Where would she have hidden her backups?
Let me take a look around.
A doctorate from the University of Ceres, back on Thessia. She's getting good use out of all that education.
Yeah, I'm guessing digging up rocks and ruins from a long-ago civilization isn't what paid for this nice apartment.
Protheans are more of a passion project for Liara. Dealing in information is where all the money is.
Speaking of careers, on what Joe said about Vizier being a career-oriented Asari, he's absolutely correct. Vizier has some pretty decent accolades to her name. She's most known for her investigation into some theft of confidential galactic economic data from the Council's Ministry of Finance, and in her role in dissolving a slave trading ring that took place on the Solarian colony world of Igor.
Wait, Batarians aren't the only species doing slavery?
No, well, at least it's not clear. One of the ringleaders was a Batarian.
Oh, never mind.
Vizier demonstrates some pretty effective interrogation tactics. She broke the Batarian in question by giving him injuries to 3 of his eyes and giving him several small joint fractures.
Goddamn, she's a woman after my own heart.
It's a shame we're going to kill her later.
Vizier also has an appearance in Mass Effect Foundation. She met up with a Cerberus operative who claimed to be betraying the organization offering information in exchange for safety. The operative was lying and was attempting to download Commander Shepard's classified Spectre files. Vizier will catch her, and in interrogation, the operative will be revealed to be Rasa, who you might recall goes by Maya Brooks in the Citadel DLC.
Brooks up to no good in the comics too, it seems.
Vizier will try to use Rasa to spread a computer virus into Cerberus databases to force the elusive man to confer with her. My beloved Miranda Lawson will end up counteracting the virus, thwarting Vizier's plans.
That's Humanity 1, Beautiful Blue Beauty 0.
Seket's markings look like he's crying.
Well, he's going to be crying after what happens to him later.
Maybe even a system.
How soon can you have it?
Shouldn't take long. Come to my office. Barrier Frontiers in the Dracon Trade Center. Gotta say though to Sony, you're making me a little nervous.
You got ample reason to be nervous here, Sakat. The vibes are not good right now, especially for you.
Well, bro is not seeing Liara in a few hours.
This must be important. The Shadow Broker's people already tried to kill her once.
I know where the Dracon Trade Center is. My car's outside.
Let's go.
The Barrier Frontiers...
Manthane did not get the memo about the color coordinating for this gathering. We're all blue and he's green.
I guess we should have called his son.
Well, that sure didn't take long.
Liara's in there!
Damn, this month really is a bad month for trade centers.
Bruh.
You're flying a bit close to the sun there, Donald.
Oh, please, that's not even the worst 9/11 thing I've said.
This is problematic.
Thane has been hanging around more than it seems.
Makes sense. He does have a terminal illness. He'd need to pay a visit to at least one of the doctors on the ship.
I'll start down here and work my way up.
Or maybe we should all just go up to the top.
It's time to get to business.
We're gonna add the Shadow Broker forces to our kill list.
Oh, that's cool. I turn a corner and get f***ing flash banged. What is this, CSGO?
If that were a CS flashbang, we would have been affected by it in real life, too.
BioWare was real proud of the flashbang grenade when they made it, because they spammed that shit in every DLC mission.
Which makes it all the more funny that they dropped it in Mass Effect 3. Kasumi doesn't even have it anymore.
Probably for the best. Flashbang is broken as hell.
We could have one-shot the Reapers with the flashbang grenade if we had it.
We'd be able to put that cheesy-ass laser on cooldown.
Firing a high-impact shot!
You can always count on Garrus to announce when he's firing a high-impact shot.
Bro is an elite shot caller. Got to give him the endorsement at the end of the match.
You know, there's surprisingly few bodies in this place, given that a bunch of explosions just went off.
That's the first thing you focused on? The lack of corpses?
What, it's a totally legitimate question.
Well, it's probably after hours at the trade center or something.
I'm sure a bunch of people will be glad to not need to come into work tomorrow.
Speaking of which, where the f*** is the police at?
The response times on Ilium are horrific.
I'm guessing Vizier just told the local law enforcement to kick rocks so she can go about her plans in peace.
So this is plot-relevant DLC, right? How do things play out if you didn't have the Shadow Broker mission back in the day?
Okay, well, for one thing, you'd be really f***ing confused when you started Mass Effect 3 and Liara all of a sudden drops that she killed the broker and took his place.
Was definitely a bit of whiplash seeing Liara go from a shy Prothean researcher to an information broker, to her being at the top of the entire information network in under 3 years without any context.
How does she manage to kill the broker without Shepard?
Several dozen mercenaries is what it took Liara to storm the lair.
I like how Shepard doesn't help Hackett and Liara. Their solution is to have entire platoons do the job instead. Shepard really is a one-person army.
Come to think of it, what happens to Vizier if Shepard isn't involved?
That's a good question that has no canon answer. I think it's safe to say the broker still sends Vizier after Liara, and she plus her squad of mercenaries managed to take Vizier out.
I like to imagine Vizier didn't end up getting involved, and when Liara takes over things, she has no idea she's under new employment.
That is also possible. It's not like Vizier has any clue who or what the broker is.
Now that I think about it, the intel we gave Liara and the broker came from Cerberus, right? What's their stake in this?
They're against the broker for working with the collectors, which is coincidentally what also made Farron turn against him.
I'm also sure the elusive man considers the broker to be a bit of a rival in the information gathering game and would prefer him gone.
On that note, here's some cut content, corner material.
I can't believe I let you use me as a segue.
There are some unused voice lines from the elusive man where he thanks you for killing the broker, referring to him as an old friend.
It wouldn't surprise me if the man and the broker have had some dealings in the past. They're the two biggest players.
The elusive man also approves of Shepard installing Liara as the new broker, viewing her as an invaluable asset.
And yet he tries to take her out in Mass Effect 3.
You know how it goes, things change.
Should be clear now.
Good, I'm on my way down.
Kind of crazy to go steal from a wall safe inside of a trade center.
We've been stealing from safes and hacking personal tablets all game long.
There are way worse ways to try to make money. At least we aren't doing anything stupid, you know, like going up to a certain bank in our cars with our license plates fully visible and our faces on camera and writing fake checks. Surely no one in Big 2024 would be dumb enough to do that.
Also, I guess Liara's friend got smoked.
Poor guy was probably only like 20 years old at most. He had a whole 2 decades left to live his life. Damn shame.
Bossier should really work on her acting.
Must have been.
Suspicious ass camera angle right here.
Looks like a dead end.
Speaking of which...
Bossier, she's right behind you.
You mean this body?
And what a beautiful blue body it is, as usual.
Liara. Something I should know?
This is the woman who tried to kill me.
Quick, someone act surprised.
What? Bossier tried to kill Liara? How could she have done this?
Looks like you need to work on your acting, too.
I saw you. I doubled back after I left. I watched you break into my apartment.
You didn't know where Liara went. Because she hid.
That's what I like to fucking see. Everyone locked in all at once without missing a beat.
Once she had my location, she signaled the Shadow Broker's forces. They bombed.
Be careful, Vasir. You keep rolling your eyes and your head is going to be rolling too.
And killed him. I'm guessing she's still got the disc on her.
Good guess. Not that you'll ever see what's on it. You pure blood bitch!
Whoa, chill out.
She called her the P word.
Hey, Liara, have you considered doing this biotic bubble thing in combat?
It would sure help considering we're always under fire.
Little bit of cutscenes, not matching gameplay here. Technically, any biotic, including Bard and Joe Shepard, should be able to do that whenever they want, supposing they're well-trained enough.
They can also just float to the ground all majestic and shit.
I actually think that level of control might be exclusive to Asari. I don't recall any other species doing that.
Man, Liara just ran right by us without giving a damn. She really is done with us after the whole drama in Mass Effect 1.
Liara's personality change in Mass Effect 2 is definitely a sore spot for a lot of people in the fandom.
I miss my geeky, socially awkward, century-old archaeologist girl.
I don't know, I like Liara more here. She's cold.
Just because she's willing to kill people now doesn't mean she's better.
Yeah, tell that to all the people going crazy for that Jane Doe girl. Being violent is sex appeal.
Donald, are you playing Zenless Zone Zero?
No, I've just grown very familiar with that rat girl from it.
Well, that aside, people generally enjoy the Shadow Broker DLC mission, but they aren't a fan of Liara's behavior in it, and I can understand why. It is a very sudden character change. The later dialogue in the mission kind of tries to justify things by having Liara say she grew colder because of all her trials in trying to get Shepard back, as well as her losing Farron to the broker.
My issue with that is it kind of relies on the idea that Shepard and Liara were particularly close in Mass Effect 1. Don't get me wrong, I like my blue beauties as much as the other person, but we weren't that tight with her at all.
We would have been if we had just romanced her.
Joe, don't open that can of worms again.
I suppose one thing I'm confused about is why didn't Liara call on any of the crew from Mass Effect 1?
Setting aside the need to keep things discreet, probably the eventual involvement of Cerberus. There is no goddamn way Kaidan or Ashley would be down to confer with the elusive man. Rex and Tully, definitely not. And she probably couldn't even find Garrus.
Gotta give Liara points for keeping her eyes on the prize and getting Shepard back.
I guess being obsessive can be a positive trait. We're still not romancing her, though.
I'd argue that we should, but the Liara that I liked in Mass Effect 1 is long gone.
Your lack of unconditional love for the Asari is deeply disappointing, Joe.
Sorry, it takes more than being a shade of blue and having psychic powers to impress me.
Yet Joe prefers his women to have buzz cuts with their psychic powers instead.
Hey, you respect my taste and I'll respect yours.
A nice leisurely jog here. We got 3 of the most fit dudes in the galaxy and they're not moving with any kind of urgency.
Give them a break, the body armor and guns probably weigh a ton.
That might work for Garrus and Bard and Joe Shepard. but Thane is packing little in the way of body armor.
Funniest thing about this cutscene is Liara and Vasir fighting each other as if they're limited by the confines of the gameplay. Throw your fucking biotics around.
Liara didn't even try to throw a singularity to stun Vasir.
I'm fine, by the way. Thanks for asking.
We're lucky the nuke on our back didn't go off when we landed.
I promised Thane to get back at the Shadow Broker, so you're good here, Garrus. Go back to your calibrations or whatever.
Poor guy doesn't get to go on the field trip.
I actually feel a little bad. Imagine walking back to the Normandy all alone.
You know Joker probably clowned Garrus for not being picked.
What's the matter, Garrus? Commander didn't want to use the broom up your ass?
There she is.
Nothing like a good old high-speed chase scene.
Hang a right. No, wait, left.
Oh God, now I'm glad we didn't romance Liara. I do not need this back seat driving shit.
I guess we're just ignoring all types of traffic laws here.
The police on Ilium actually don't give a fuck about
She's around
anything.
the corner.
Liara, shut the hell up.
We're not going into the construction site,
Oh shit.
Goddamn Barack.
Remind me not to ever ride with you anywhere.
Joe, I'm not hearing that from the guy who can't drive the M44 Hammerhead worth a damn.
Okay, I have to ask, what exactly are the traffic laws here? Like outside of the tunnels, there are no lanes, no lights, no signs, nothing at all.
I wish I had an answer for you, Donald, but I don't.
I'm going.
Just seems like everyone drives between buildings.
I've always believed that we're better off not being in the timeline where we have flying cars.
I'm guessing there's some level of autopilot in the sky cars to keep people from flying all over the place. One note about them, there is a propulsive drive powered by a Mass Effect field in the back of them, which allows them to move.
Wait, can sky cars travel faster than light?
No, their only listed speed is 7 kilometers every 10 minutes, which is fairly slow, so I suppose it can't be that bad if you crash.
Also, I guess these vehicles can't go in reverse. Their thrusters are only in the back.
If you look up during our approach, you can see Jack's wanted poster on the screen.
Further proof Ilium cops don't care we had Jack here during Miranda's loyalty mission.
Truck.
I know.
Truck.
Yeah, Liara, yelling truck twice is sure going to help me avoid it. Thanks for the input.
There we go.
You're enjoying this.
Well, honestly, this is the highlight of my day. Thanks for asking.
So are we just going to ignore that a bunch of people definitely died when that truck crashed?
I tell myself it was just a bunch of broker agents, just like the car that just crashed ahead of us.
That vehicle is going to land directly on someone below us.
Someone's in for a bad day.
Truck.
Again?
What the hell is going on with the truck drivers in this place?
Looks like Vasir is the one who needs a backseat driver.
I hope everyone watching Ilium News is enjoying the car chase. We're really putting on a show for these people.
I imagine the other people in the sky aren't too happy about it.
Okay, well, f the guy we just pushed Vasir into. Also, not to be a total square, but do these damn things not have seat belts?
I suppose the artificial gravity keeps you in your seat.
Honestly impressed by the durability of these things. There isn't a scratch on our sky car after all of that, and Vasir's doesn't look that bad considering she just went through a head-on collision.
The other car she hit did just keep it pushing. So sky cars must be made to last.
Is she dual-wielding a Vindicator and Carnifex?
They need to put dual-wielding guns in Mass Effect Epsilon.
That's an actual W take from you, Sleepy Joe. Let me dual-wield the Claymore.
You're going to fire a gun built for Krogan with one arm?
Just try and stop me.
You know, it's a good thing this parking lot was empty when Vasir crashed.
Forget the crash. We're about to have an extended firefight out here.
At this point, I'm starting to think Ilium's police force is just a detective from Samara's recruitment mission and the few people we saw earlier.
Good thing all these guys didn't try shooting at us while we were chasing Vasir.
They saw the one that crashed earlier and decided to take it slow.
Whoa. Where the f did this guy come from?
Well, Thane and Liara did not have your back there.
That's what you get for sending the #1 shot caller back to the Normandy. Garrus would have hit that guy with a high-impact shot if he were here.
Well, that was a Solarian, so I shouldn't be so surprised one got the drop on me.
Couldn't be me. I would have got him before he had the chance.
I can see why he flanked with how quickly he got blown up.
Thane, move over, please. God damn it.
See, I told you the squad mates be getting in the way sometimes.
Stasis field ready.
Why are these guys coming at us in waves? They should jump us all at once.
Please do not give the enemy battle tips.
Don't worry, they're too dumb to follow up on it.
Oh, I'm making a mistake. Well,
That's what I needed to see, baby. Let's go.
Damn, how long has it been since you died, Barry?
I think it was episode 4, was it? when we were recruiting Thane.
God damn, that was months ago. Ilium is really eating you up, and I'm thankful for it. My victory in Mass Effect 2 is secured.
Settle down there, you still have another episode left.
Barry, what even happened to you back there? You said you made a mistake and then kind of planked.
Well, I was trying to back into the cover, but I got stuck on the corner. And then tech armor didn't activate fast enough.
See, if you were a Vanguard, you could have just charged into all those guys instead.
All right, Donald, we get it. You want to play Vanguard.
Bro talks about the Vanguard like it saved his life.
I'll make you see the light when we get to Mass Effect 3.
Don't be so sure, Donald. The race isn't over yet.
Come on, man, enough of this. The only thing more cooked than your death count is Concord.
What is Concord?
Exactly.
The only thing you need to know is that it's most likely the biggest failure in gaming history.
Imagine spending $150 million developing a live service game, and its all-time peak players on Steam is a mere 660 players.
Is that bad? I don't typically play live service stuff.
So to put it into perspective, the current 24-hour peak for the Mass Effect Legendary Edition typically hits between 3,000 and 4,000 players on a daily basis. Mind you, this is a single-player game that released in 2021 and is really a remaster of a decade-old franchise.
Bro, Mass Effect Andromeda pulled a higher all-time peak than Concord did. They got me out here praising Mass Effect Andromeda right now.
Damn, that sucks. Well, surely they can make the game better, right? It could be a No Man's Sky type situation.
Well, the game came out August 23rd, 2024, and was shut down on September 6th, so it's less of a No Man's Sky and more of an Anthem type situation.
I can't believe I'm about to say this, but that comparison is an insult to Anthem, that actually made a good deal of money before its development ceased.
Damn, Sony really caught an L.
Well, there's also the fact that the PS5 Pro is launching for $700 USD and doesn't even come with a disk drive.
Excuse me?
I'll say it again, $700 USD. That's a 7 and 2 zeros.
They've lost their goddamn minds.
I'm not even going to call you broke if you don't want to buy it. It's just a bad deal all the way around. I don't know what they're thinking.
Sony saw what the scalpers were selling the PS5 for back during COVID and said they wanted in on that too.
All right, let's not jump Sony too badly here. They did release Astrobot, which looked like a nice little platformer.
Yeah, how nice of Sony to make a game to remind us of all the properties they haven't touched in years. Make another infamous game right this second, and my life is yours. I'll even take a remaster. Now, this is my kind of place.
I guess there's a lot more than just trading to be done here on Ilium.
Of course, nothing like a nice night with an Asari escort after a day of scamming people.
Azure is slang for a part of the Asari body in some areas of Ilium.
Where?
Mainly the lower reaches, near the bottom.
I meant where on the Asari body.
So did I.
You're making romancing you seem mighty appealing, Liara.
Nope. It takes more than a sexy little pickup line to get me.
Well, I'm glad to see she upped her game since Mass Effect 1.
She's not looking too good right now.
None of these people see the armed Asari leaking her Kool-Aid all over the place.
Vizier, it's over.
They literally aren't reacting to anything.
Gotta be the purest example of NPCs I've ever seen.
Hey you! Come here.
How the hell did she teleport like that?
Oh, now they're all reacting to her.
It checks out. NPCs only do anything when you interact with them.
Mariana, you want to live, don't you? Tell those people that you want to live.
Vasir, have you heard of a Turian politician named Joram Talib perchance?
No way are you going to shoot another hostage.
I don't know. I might or I might not.
You think so? I think maybe Cerberus terrorists did that. Which story do you think the council will...
Too bad for you, Vasir. We were recording this conversation using our Omni tools. You're cooked.
If only it were that easy.
I have a son.
Well, look on the bright side, Mariana. Your son might be getting the opportunity to become Batman.
That's some insane work, Barry.
For children. Scars them for life.
He'll be fine. He's just getting the starting point of most shonen anime protagonists.
The usual way.
What the hell is the usual way? Have we been in this situation before?
So you can shoot the hostage, which is mighty tempting on this renegade run. But I'll just pick the morality option.
You had me worried for a
No
second.
stomach for a real fight. Just like an Asari.
Liara's standing right there.
Drop the thermal clips, Shepard.
You girls should really just stick to dancing. You know, play to your strengths.
Well, she doesn't seem to care.
It's actually too bad we had to go the renegade route here. The Paragon dialogue is so much better. Shepard reminds Vasir of our decisions in Mass Effect 1, making it clear that we'll shoot if we have to.
Look at Vasir, not even table level.
All right, Mariana, be glad I didn't need to kill you to prove a point. Get out of here.
What the hell kind of charge ability is that, and where can I get it?
They must have pulled Vasir out of Andromeda. That's the only way she can leap and dash like that.
Charging biotics.
All right, I've had enough waiting time to bring out the pocket nuke.
I don't think that's going to kill her. Also, we're in close quarters.
Don't care. We only got 4 episodes with the cane, and I'm trying to get some mileage out of it.
It's dust.
Oh, my shields.
I told you we were too close.
Barry got the cane and lost all his game sense because he's so horny to see an explosion.
Listen, there are some things worth dying for, and being the first one to fire the cane is definitely one of those things.
Well, I won't stop you from self-destructing your death count.
I miss when we could shoot enemies in stasis and still hurt them.
I miss when biotics were overpowered in general.
You know, they really gave Vasir a shit ton of health. The cane barely scratched her.
She's one of the toughest enemies in the games.
What's crazy is she's doing all this dashing around and while still bleeding all over the place.
It's honestly kind of odd that Vasir was letting herself bleed out like that. The entire purpose of Medi-Gel is to close up wounds like that.
Bro, I want that goddamn charge ability.
It's the same thing you do on Vanguard.
No, she's able to charge into open space to maneuver around. And she can do it into the air.
This must be some high-level Asari stuff. Vasir is actually making the matriarch look like a child in comparison. Oh crap, I'm about to eat a charge.
The only thing I'll say is her charge-up time is crazy.
Ouch.
The area of effect on that charge is crazy.
I wish Vasir would charge into me.
I need to see the kaboom again.
You're a bigger pervert for the cane than me.
It's good to see Barry hasn't lost his penchant for mass destruction.
It's just so beautiful.
Okay, well, stop being in awe and activate your armor again.
It must be a cold day in hell for Sleepy Joe to be reminding Barack to activate tech armor.
All right, Vasir, I'm gonna Lion King you now.
What does that mean?
It means he's going to send Vasir falling to the surface of this planet so she can fry like calamari.
Have a nice fall, fellow Spectre.
Damn it!
And somehow she gets back up here for this cutscene.
It would be pretty bad if she didn't. She still had the disc on her.
Sakat's personal data pad. This has what we need to find the Shadow Broker.
You're dead.
Funny thing to say when you're currently leaving grape Kool-Aid all over the wall.
Stronger than anything you've ever faced.
Girl, we killed a Reaper 2 years ago.
To work for him?
You think I betrayed the council? Like Saren? Go to hell. The broker's given me damn good intel over the years.
Vasir kind of has a point here, and we shouldn't be acting so high and mighty about the Shadow Broker ourselves. We potentially use intel from them in order to expose Saren.
Not to mention that we gave the broker that Cerberus intel we got last game for money.
Except you working for the Shadow Broker.
The council. You pay them lip service while working for terrorists?
Well, she has us there.
Vasir's line might actually mean something to me if we'd chosen to work with Cerberus.
Yeah, whatever the writing was going for here kind of flops. If I had things my way, we would have gone back to the Alliance after the Collector Vessel mission. Vasir trying to chastise us for working with Cerberus feels undeserved.
And you're with them. Don't you dare judge me. Don't you?
What a goddamn waste.
I agree. Despite everything, Vasir was an effective Spectre and a fairly interesting character. I wish we could have had the option to arrest her, and maybe she could return as a war asset in Mass Effect 3.
I meant what a waste that another beautiful blue beauty died without me getting the chance to shoot my shot.
Oh, right. Excuse me, of course.
You had to know that was what he was talking about.
In a few hours, he'll know about Vasir before long, if he decides to kill Farron.
We'll get Farron out of there alive, Liara.
What's going on with our eyes now?
Looks like that last renegade decision pushed us over the edge.
You love to see it. We're real demons now.
That's not a good thing.
When we first met on Therum, you saved me from the Geth. You fought a Krogan battlemaster while I...
In your defense, Liara, you were trapped in a Prothean stasis field for days. You weren't in any position to help us.
Damn, we friend-zoned her.
It's fine, she'll get over it when we're dead, and she's alive for another 900 years.
Data. The Normandy's stealth drive will keep them from detecting us. The Shadow Broker's agents are still shooting their way through Ilium.
Wait, they are? For what?
Good question. I guess they're looking for Liara.
A little late now that Vasir is dead.
Innocent people.
You know what I mean.
Do I? When I hit the ground back at the trade center, you went after Vasir without a backward look.
A little fall wasn't going to kill you.
It's not about the physical pain, Liara. It's about what's inside.
Make the call, like I did with Sakat.
That's Vasir's fault, not yours.
Yeah, tell that to Seacat. Bro probably had a whole day ahead of him.
I put him in harm's way to get the data I needed. I got him killed. And I'd do it again.
That's pretty cold.
I wonder who she learned this from.
Get in, get Farron, get out. And kill anyone who tries to stop us.
That's it?
That's it.
Sounds like a plan.
Hagalaz. The oceans boil during the day, then snap freeze 10 minutes after sundown.
It's also worth pointing out that Hagalaz's rotational period is slow as hell, giving it days and nights that are 98 Earth days long.
Is that what's causing this Category 12 hurricane?
Yes, the extreme cold and hot on both sides of the planet cause violent storm cells anywhere the sun is rising or setting. Interestingly enough, the animals and plants on Hagalaz have adapted to living in cycles of ice, flooding, baking heat, and air pressure changes.
Looks like the average hurricane season.
I'm not too sure about this. What if we get struck by lightning?
We'll be fine.
So as we all know, the Shadow Broker is a Yogg, but it has a pretty interesting history that leads up to it becoming the Broker. Now, feels like a good time to get into it.
Yay, story time.
Grab your milk and cookies. Barack is about to go on a legendary yap.
So it goes like this. In 2125, the previous Shadow Broker sent some of their agents to the Yogg homeworld of Parnak, looking for a specimen for study. An operative known as Keklu reports that after killing several of the Yogg, one of them shows interest in leaving the planet, leading Keklu to believe that this one is more peaceable. Keklu goes on to note that the Yogg's savagery puts even the Krogan to shame, but on top of that, they show the ability to learn nearly as fast as Solarians. Keklu warns that the Yogg they brought back could be dangerous.
Remind me to always listen to guys named Keklu.
Well, you won't get the chance to listen to anything Keklu has said. In the next email, we'll learn that the Shadow Broker's new friend has eliminated the former operative Keklu and taken his place.
Okay, never mind.
Even I can see where this is going.
The Yogg is put in charge of command strike teams to gather intelligence and neutralize potential threats. Apparently, the previous Shadow Broker actually liked his Yogg friend quite a bit, going as far as to say that they're proud of it.
How sweet.
You're gonna make my heart grow a few sizes bigger.
In the very next email, the previous Shadow Broker is warning all of their operatives to remove operative Keklu immediately. Remember that Keklu is the Yogg now. The broker goes on about how their operatives should only engage with numerical superiority, and to change all access codes and provide Keklu with no additional information. They go on to say that Keklu must not be allowed further access to.
Further access to what?
That's it. The email ends abruptly.
I got a feeling the Shadow Broker agents are under new employment.
The final email goes out to all operatives. The Shadow Broker, who is most definitely the Yogg we're familiar with, reports that operative Keklu is no longer a problem. It countermands the previous broker's orders and wants a status report on all operations by the end of the next solar day.
Riveting yap session, Barack, one of your best.
So this happened back in 2125? How long has the Yogg we know been in control?
Vasir seems to be aware that the current broker is not the previous one, as she says he's been in control for decades. I assume the Yogg took control of things pretty quickly after leaving Parnak, which would be consistent with its quick learning.
Any guesses as to what species the original broker was?
Seems pretty obvious to me. It had to be a slimy, wiggly-ass amphibian.
We know it couldn't have been a human. This event most likely predates the First Contact War. So out of the major aliens, I would agree with Donald and say it's a Solarian. They are the ones who deal with intelligence the most.
Not to mention they're the only aliens stupid enough to try to have long-term involvement with the Yogg, even when the Council did the right thing for once and isolated them to their homeworld.
Really, everything that happened was a foregone conclusion. The Yogg are apex predators with a society built around pack mentality. They do not cooperate until a single leader has attained dominance.
It was either the Yogg takes control of operations, or it dies trying.
The most interesting thing is that despite their brutish strength, the Yogg are capable of social maneuvering as well. The Shadow Broker apparently demonstrated keen political predictions, better than some of the previous broker's best agents.
Evidently it was smarter than the previous broker too, given that they couldn't predict that they'd be usurped by their new friend.
The broker we know now also had some dealing with Alec Ryder from Mass Effect Andromeda. It apparently helped with the development of Sam.
Damn, the broker has his hands in everything.
I guess the moral of the story here is to leave the Yogg the hell alone.
Oh, I know this is something that doesn't happen until Mass Effect 3, but didn't the Yogg get loose on Surkesh?
That's not good.
If the Solarians are smart, they'll track it down and kill it immediately.
Like I already said, if they were smart, they would have left it on Parnak where it belongs.
That about does it for story time. Back to the mission at hand, getting into the Shadow Broker's ship.
Honestly, this part of the mission kind of drags, doesn't it?
If there's any complaint to be launched at the DLC, it's definitely the Hagalaz section. It makes up way too much of the mission.
I also don't see why we didn't just land our shuttle right at the door.
Things are never that simple, you know that.
Oh, f***.
You're gonna die to a Loki mech.
Not today, I'm not.
Ain't no way.
No f***ing shot you survived that.
I'm not even gonna bullshit you. I got incredibly lucky just now. The redundant shield generator upgrade activated and bought me just enough time.
Your gameplay's been looking a bit sloppy today, Barry.
Normally I'd call you out as you have no place to talk, Joe, but you're right. Barack is looking a little washed.
Everyone has off days. Besides, one of my deaths this episode was pretty much intentional.
Whatever helps you sleep at night.
Me personally, I never have off days.
We're getting close to the final area.
About damn time walking outside this ship is starting to put me to sleep.
Oh, please, everything puts you to sleep.
Oh my f***ing God.
How the hell? I swear your health went all the way to 0.
Bro just defied death right before our eyes on some Sans Undertale last breath type stuff.
Damn, I'm really not having the best day right now.
Is the Shadow Broker DLC really that much harder?
Not really, no. I'd say Arrival is definitely the hardest DLC in 2. I just need to lock in. I guess I went soft in between now and my last episode.
Not even a guardrail. I bet the broker's agents love patrolling the hull.
It would take a lot more than a flimsy guardrail to make crossing this thing safe.
We're not even going to talk about how a stray bullet causes the lightning rods to dispel their built-up electricity.
I'm not sure what would be worse, getting blasted by electricity because a piece of debris flew into the lightning rods, or accidentally falling off this thing and plummeting to the surface where you'll either freeze or boil to death.
You know, a well-placed explosive might be more effective.
I really don't know why we don't blow doors up more often.
The Shadow Broker's base before. Well, not this one anyway.
All right, time to hold the line here while Lyra's little toy does its trick.
You sure that shunt is working?
It's illegal, even on Ilium. It didn't come with a warranty.
But you tested it, right?
Here come more of them.
Oh God, she didn't test it.
To be fair, how exactly would she test it? The Shadow Broker's vessel is probably one of the most secure ships in the galaxy.
I'm just saying it would be really bad if this thing didn't work.
This is the worst hacking device in the trilogy.
I'm sure it won't be much longer.
Remember the old days when you could just slap Omnigel on everything?
Those were the good days.
That security upgrade made a lot of people unhappy.
How the hell did that even work anyway?
I can probably provide some insight into this. Omnigel is technological material composed of common, reusable industrial plastics, ceramics, and light alloys that are kept in a semi-molten state. In 2183, during the events of Mass Effect 1, Omnigel was designed for use with Omni tools to do electronics or decryption work. It was also used to repair vehicles like the Mako. It's here where the security issue probably existed. I imagine you slap Omnigel on a secure crate or door or something, use your Omni tool, and it would fix it by hacking the lock.
So is the issue there the door, the Omnigel, or the Omni tool?
It was probably the tool, if I had to guess.
Well, like everyone in the Mass Effect universe, that security upgrade made me angry.
Their attacks are disorganized. They'd be more effective if they all attacked at once.
You see, Liara and I have the same idea.
Just because Liara wants to give the mercs ideas doesn't mean you have to.
Honestly, sending them in waves is a high IQ move. If they all came out at once, Barry would probably use the cane on it.
Damn straight I would.
Can't believe I'm about to say this, but you're a bigger pervert for the cane than I am.
Yeah, sure. We'll see how much self-control you have when it's your turn.
The next wave looks like a big one.
The tower defense game is coming to an end.
At this point, the broker is just throwing its people into a meat grinder.
Keep dreaming, Sony.
Lyra, you wish killing all these guys out here would result in fewer enemies on the inside.
You do have to ask, how many men should you commit to trying to kill Commander Shepard when they keep slaughtering them left and right?
Well, the merc groups didn't learn their lesson. I doubt the broker cares.
I'm just trying to figure out where they get all these damn people. I mean, I know the galaxy is big, but are they all really willing to die for a paycheck?
Maybe the Shadow Broker has pretty good benefits for its agents.
Benefits worth dying for?
Hey, you never know.
I just know the broker seems like the type to command its men with fear, not with good PTO and pay.
I mean, look at the Frieza Force. In Fighter Z, they said members of the Force get premium health care and a personal planet if they do well in battle.
Ain't no way that was canon.
I guess it makes sense. Frieza isn't a dumbass. He would want his forces to be well maintained.
There, the hatch is open.
Liara, next time we need to hack into something, we're bringing the Reaper-based AI to do it.
Edie would have had this door open in 5 seconds.
Knowing Edie, she probably would have let Liara use her toy so she could test its capabilities.
I'm surprised they didn't lay any traps at the door.
The broker would prefer to throw more men at the problem.
Fine by me. They're all going to die as fast as the rest of them.
The glowing red eyes is really selling the murderous intent.
You see, that's the benefit to going Renegade. We get cool cosmetics to our looks.
Is there no Paragon alternative to this?
The Paragon alternative is your scars disappear. You don't get any cool glowing bits.
That's lame. If your Paragon, your eyes and scars should start glowing blue or something.
How many guards do the Shadow Broker have?
Told you.
The televisor did say it was a private army, and this ship is massive. It figures there would be a lot of people.
I'm guessing the broker was building up its forces for the impending Reaper invasion.
Damn, that kind of puts slaughtering them in a different context.
It's fine. Liara's going to have what's left of them after all this is done.
Hey, Farron, you alive?
Bro doesn't look alive.
No, he's good.
So if we don't help Liara do this, Farron will die, probably because she doesn't get the intel she needs in time to save him.
No.
Oops, that's our bad.
Well, there are worse ways to be tortured.
I thought this looked too easy.
This chair plugs into the broker's info network. You have to shut off the power. Pull me out now, and my brain cooks.
It's like Sword Art Online.
If you die in the game, you die for real.
What exactly is the game supposed to be here?
I'm sure Farron is using his drill memory thing to escape to better, less painful times. So that's the game.
Oh, damn, that looks like it hurt.
The medical equipment is to make sure he doesn't expire.
Good on Farron for surviving torture for 2 damn years and not spilling the beans.
Raised his own private force. They're completely loyal.
Okay, perhaps we should stop asking him questions.
But we gotta clear all the dialogue options.
No, we don't.
Your insatiable need to hear every line of dialogue knows no bounds, even when it clearly tortures someone.
Yeah, you know, like us.
The guards are terrified of him.
A Krogan?
Speaking of which, it's kind of odd for the broker to not employ any Krogan.
Nah, it makes sense. Shadow broker agents are about stealth and infiltration. That's why they're mostly built up of Solarians, Asari, Batarians, and humans.
Wait, there were Batarians here?
Yes, you might not have noticed it because they're using the same incorrect helmets from the arrival mission.
It really would have killed them to put 2 more red circles on the helmet.
I'm counting on it.
We'll be back for you, Farron.
I'll try not to go anywhere.
That's good, Farron. It's nice to have a sense of humor in these trying times.
God damn, these guys got here quick. Thank you, Thane. Nice of you to take up the shot calling role with Garrus being gone.
Too bad he didn't tell you to watch your flank when that Solarian jumped you earlier.
You gotta put some respect on that guy for making his stand and holding his post at the cost of his life.
Dude was just the door attendant.
He better than me. I would have hid under the desk and waited.
I'm thinking the broker wouldn't appreciate that.
Well, considering that's obviously Bard and Joe Shepard on the way here, I would probably just wait it out until things settle down.
Wait, we were holding the Locust before the gun just switched to the Phalanx.
Here for the drill.
Holy f*** that voice.
Reckless, even for you, Commander.
Oh, please, this isn't even the 5th most reckless thing we've done.
We did literally take a fucking Mako through a mass relay.
But necessary.
No, it wasn't. Neither was caging Farron for 2 years.
I don't even really understand why he kept Farron for so long. Seems like a waste of resources to keep him if he won't talk.
He was definitely just doing it for fun after the first 2 months of torture.
It'll be pretty hard to run a base this size with no crew.
They're replaceable. Your arrival is barely an interruption.
Well, there's the answer for why he just kept sending people at us.
To come after you for working with the Collectors.
So what did the Collectors want Shepard for specifically? Do they really think we're that special?
This is from cut voice lines for the DLC. But Liara will tell us that killing Saren actually didn't matter to the Collectors. They were instead intrigued by Shepard's exposure to the Prothean beacon and the Thorian on Feros. They wanted to look at Shepard for genetic abnormalities.
Bringing an assassin was shrewd to Sony. I'll give Mr. Krios' son my regards.
Oh, we didn't bring Thane for his assassin work. This is for his wife.
I still can't believe the broker will say that killing Jacob Taylor will cripple Cerberus if you bring him here.
The broker was just being polite. It is quite politically savvy after all.
A pre-spaceflight species quarantined to their homeworld from massacring the Council's first contact teams. This base is older than your planet's discovery. Which probably means you killed the original Shadow Broker 60 years ago, then took over. I'm guessing you were taken from your world by a trophy hunter who wanted a slave. Or a pet. How am I doing?
Goddamn, she just cooked you, bro.
You're a big guy.
For you.
See, this is what happens when you let your homegirl run her mouth.
Jesus Christ, Thane, what the hell happened?
The master assassin over here couldn't dodge a fucking table.
This scene is kind of awkward if you happen to be romancing someone and brought them here.
Yeah, I imagine there would be a long talk from Tally if we'd been pursuing her and she witnessed us save Liara over her.
This boss fight isn't exactly difficult, but damn if it isn't menacing having the broker pull up on you while continuously shooting a damn revenant.
Damn bro is walking like a level 100 crime boss.
What do you think the broker does to people who come into this room and never exit?
It definitely eats them.
Always thinking with your stomach, Donald?
Nah, Donald's definitely right here. That giant maw of a mouth has to be for something. Plus, look at the guy. He's going to need the caloric intake.
Maybe that's another reason why there are no Krogan here. There wouldn't be enough food to go around.
Damn, that pistol is doing numbers.
I keep telling you to put some respect on the M5 phalanx.
Liara wasn't even doing anything back there.
Well, she didn't get knocked the fuck out like Thane, so she's still managing to pull some amount of weight.
Give the man a break. He has a terminal illness.
He's just standing there menacingly.
The shield's kinetically sensitive. Energy and projectiles are bouncing off.
Then we do this the hard way.
It's time to put the guns and space magic down and run hands.
Holy fucking shit, the Haymaker from hell is crazy.
We really pieced the f out of a Yogg.
I guess that explains why we were able to one-shot those fully armored Project Base guys in the Arrival DLC with our bare hands.
The Shadow Broker is such a bitch. Took 2 hits from Shepard and immediately put up a shield.
Goes to show that being bulky doesn't count for much in a fight.
You know what else Mass Effect Epsilon needs? Hand-to-hand combat, like the dry leaf arts from Shadow of the Erd Tree.
Now you're speaking my language. Let me box a Thresher Maw.
That shield looks really annoying.
You know what? I'm hitting him with the cane.
Bro, this room is even smaller than the last one you used it in.
Don't care.
Barry, I think this might be a bad idea.
Well, that's a death I can respect at least.
Okay, in my defense, if my tech armor hadn't broken, I would have tanked that.
Hear me out, maybe we don't launch the nuclear warhead at an enemy that's standing like 10 feet away from us.
The cane is not a nuclear weapon. Those radiation trefoils are just for decoration.
Barry, man, that doesn't really change my point.
Barack got his hands on the cane and lost all his sense for this game.
All right, I won't fire the cane again for this episode.
I'm thinking you shouldn't use it at all the way you're acting with it.
Leave me alone. I've been researching and noting Mass Effect lore for the past 20 episodes. I earned the right to clown around a little.
You're right, my bad, boss man Barry.
You can fire it as many times as you want. Self-destructs count as deaths, so all you've done is widen my lead.
Go ahead and take Mass Effect 2 if you want it. The record will be set straight come Mass Effect 3.
Don't you guys count me out of things yet?
We're well past counting. We've already got the solution, and you're totally cooked, Joe.
Doesn't look like shooting the cover is doing much for him.
They're under control.
Holy shit.
You want to say that again, Joe?
Nah, I'm good. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut.
Why'd you run away? Just hit him with a haymaker again.
Nah, it doesn't work the same way when we're in actual gameplay and not a cutscene.
You came for nothing.
Jesus Christ, his voice lines are menacing.
Fun fact about the broker, it can speak 17 languages without translator assistance.
Okay, we need to keep those things confined to their planet. They're way too damn smart.
It would be genuinely devastating if the Yogg found themselves on the galactic stage. We would have a massive f***ing problem.
You know, Epsilon being about us dealing with an invasion of the Yogg doesn't sound too bad.
All right, time for round 2.
Despite its size, the Yogg has absolutely zero skill in close quarters.
Goddamn, how strong is Shepard supposed to be?
Yogg are supposed to be even stronger than Krogan. This is genuinely insane.
The only reason the broker isn't getting completely f***ed up is because of that cheesy ass shield.
If you can get him to bring up that shield again, I've got an idea.
Okay, Liara, I'll do it a third goddamn time.
I guess it was too much to ask she think of this plan a little sooner.
Hey, at least she's doing something. Thane is over there taking a fucking nap.
And to think I brought him here so he could get revenge on the broker for the part it played in killing his wife.
Also, I think Joe might have been onto something with the Yogg being the primary enemy in the next game.
Why, you actually like one of my ideas?
I can always respect a good idea, even if it's coming from you.
I've seen people say they want the next game to be about a smaller scale conflict. So stopping the Yogg does sound mighty appealing.
It sounds like untapped potential. We have a species of alien with the intelligence of Solarians, the might of Krogans, and the ambitions of humans. They would be great antagonists for the Milky Way to face.
Well, if the Solarians keep up their meddling, we'll definitely be looking at a repeat of the Krogan rebellion on steroids.
A genophage wouldn't even work. The Yogg would probably cure it themselves.
Got him.
Well, thankfully, we don't need a genophage to kill this one.
How the hell did he miss?
Liara, now!
Yeah, definitely don't move out the way, broker. Just stand there.
No, my greatest strength has become my greatest weakness. How could I have fallen for this unbelievably obvious cliche?
Damn, I was hoping we'd be able to save at least a portion of it for Grunt to eat.
You know, it's a good thing that explosion wasn't any bigger.
Barry, you vaporized yourself using the cane. I don't think that's something you're worried about.
As our soon-to-be wife, Tali, will say, it was totally worth it for the content. Oh, Thane, you're still here.
How nice of you to join us, don't worry. While you were getting your beauty sleep, we fought the equivalent of a super intelligent grizzly bear.
How the hell did he do that?
I guess vanishing from sight is just something all Drell can do.
We've had a momentary connection failure. Can you confirm status?
Operative Shora requesting update. Are we still online?
Shadow Broker, I've lost our feed.
This is probably exactly how things went down when the Yogg killed the previous Shadow Broker.
And none of these morons will ever know they're under new employment.
Well, not necessarily. In the Mass Effect Homeworlds comic, The Elusive Man will note that the black markets have started to notice some changes after Liara takes over due to the fact that she isn't using fear to control things. People are saying the broker is slipping and going soft. The man suggests there isn't much time before someone comes for Liara's life.
I guess it's a good thing the Reaper invasion started killing all the agents before anyone could take their shot at being the fourth Shadow Broker.
Goddess of Oceans. It's you. How?
A lot of firepower and hands, that's how we did it.
Everyone who's ever seen him in person is dead, so...
You're the new Shadow Broker.
Now Liara will use her position to find the Deus Ex Machina we need to defeat the Reapers in Mass Effect 3.
It'll be nice to have access to information I can trust. Broker.
I'm not sure I'm ready for you to call me that. I'm not sure about any of this. But I had to do it.
Well, it was either you take over as broker or we blow this place up.
I can give you. I can...
Well, here come the waterworks.
Check the power systems.
I wonder what Thane and Farron are going to talk about.
Probably about their memories. You know, Thane and his wife with her sunset-colored eyes and Farron's continuous torture for the last couple years.
Liara's earned this after everything she's done since Mass Effect 1.
Okay, I didn't want to be the one to say it, but our scars are kind of crossing the territory from looking cool into looking extremely ugly.
I was considering healing them before the suicide mission.
Don't you fucking dare.
It's all right.
Why are we holding hands?
See, this is one issue I have with interactions between Shepard and Liara. They're often romantic, even when you aren't with her.
Well, just be glad we aren't actually with anyone at all at the moment.
Spent 2 years mourning you and Farron. And now I've got you both back. Let's see what we've got.
Oh God, Liara has access to everyone's extranet search history.
Oh no, she's about to become very familiar with just how much everyone loves the Asari.
It's like he never anticipated anyone but himself being here.
Well, I can't blame him. If I were a 12-foot-tall, 1,000-pound alien monster, I wouldn't think anyone would be in here either.
Just goes to show how primitive the Yogg really are. Never just keep your dirtiest secrets open for anyone to see, no matter how secure your location is.
Is it wrong that part of me wants this? With the Shadow Broker's network, I can help you. Maybe I can turn this operation into something better.
Thank God it was Liara we helped become the broker and not someone way more invasive.
The doors are always open. Thank you, Shepard, for everything.
We're literally going to walk back in here, so you can skip the sad goodbye music.
Oh God, it's fucking Glyph.
Well, right now, he's just called Info Drone.
What's this?
That's the old broker's VI assistant. It's actually been helpful with rebuilding the network.
Please let me know if I can organize anything else for you, Shadow Broker.
Could you give it a more appealing voice?
Leave Glyph alone.
I'll play around with the settings later.
My manual is ready whenever you have a moment.
Let's stop by and check on one of the 3 Drell we meet in this entire game.
So I know Farron sticks with Liara, But what does he get up to after this?
After Farron helps Liara abandon the ship, when Cerberus attacks it, he'll become Liara's main agent for operations in the Terminus systems. He'll send us an email where he catches up with us and provides us with some upgrade data.
I'm still amazed Liara came for me. I'll never forget what either of you did.
Well, you don't really forget anything at all, do you?
I see you met the secretary.
For 2 years, Liara didn't stop looking for you. You two must have been close.
She's a good friend. Better than I deserve.
Liara really takes to people pretty quick. She wasn't really with Farron all that long.
I'll be all right. I wasn't always strapped into that interrogation chair. Drell can mentally escape into old memories. It came in handy on the bad days.
How many times did the Shadow Broker hook you up to that contraption?
A lot. It gets
I wonder what other means of torture there were.
I think we're better off not knowing.
I'm not trying to make Farron relive the last 2 years, so we'll leave it at that.
What will you do now that you're a free man?
I want to help Liara rebuild this place. But after that...
That damn thing has to be like a flashbang when it gets that close.
It probably has the most annoying alarm sound in the galaxy.
I imagine it's just Glyph loudly announcing that it's time for whatever is on the schedule.
Cerberus headhunted me and Liara to steal your body from the Shadow Broker. I was working for the broker at the time, and he's the one who scraped up your remains in the first place.
How did the broker find our remains before the collectors? They were right there after blowing up the first Normandy.
Good question.
I guess the collectors just didn't think Shepard would make it down after burning up in an atmosphere.
An information trader, not a slaver.
Is that so hard for Batarians? You can still be a criminal, just don't be a slaver.
Follows everyone.
Shoot it, it'll vanish like all the other ones.
Come on, Glyph isn't that bad.
For a specialized data processing VI, custom built to your specifications, Shadow Broker.
It helps coordinate the network's massive information feeds, but it could use a different interface tone.
See? Even Farron agrees with me on the voice.
At least make it sound like Sam from Andromeda.
I wish it would stop calling me that.
How are you doing, Liara?
I'm a bit overwhelmed, to be honest.
One thing about Liara staying here on the Shadow Broker ship, she was originally supposed to go back to her office on Ilium.
That seems like it would be a really bad idea, given that she's supposed to be, you know, living in secrecy as the broker.
The whole living in secrecy as the broker kind of went out the window by the time we got to Mass Effect 3. Damn near everyone knows.
Well, not really. Besides Shepard's direct allies, the Elusive Man, and the major leaders in Citadel space, hardly anyone knows.
You know, I wonder if we have access to the broker's finances right now.
There are indeed investment opportunities in the Shadow Broker's base. You can invest in certain events like a smear campaign on a politician attempting to raise taxes on all Earth manufactured goods. There are some unused investment opportunities within the DLC's files. These were most likely written for testing purposes, but they mention things like a puppy eating Vorcha, slaves in a jelly bean factory, hunting down Conrad Werner, or helping an old woman cross the street.
Give me 10 minutes and I could start a war.
Okay, do it. You won't know balls.
Please do not try to bait Liara into starting a war.
The Reapers. That will keep me honest.
So does that mean she'll quit being honest once we stop the Reapers?
Relatively speaking.
Have you found anything useful yet?
The Shadow Broker knew about the Reapers. Perhaps that's why he offered to help prove Saren's...
Well, I mean, maybe we should have been working with the Shadow Broker.
Between the Elusive Man and the Broker knowing about the Reapers and the Council refusing to help us, it's making me think following the galactic government isn't worth it.
Harbinger's puppets. There's even some data on the Protheans. I think he knew what was coming and was looking for a way to survive.
Interestingly, the Shadow Broker would have been perfectly fine if he went back home, right?
Yes, we hear in Mass Effect 3 that the Reapers were leaving Karnak alone, as they aren't a spacefaring species at the time.
The seemed to think there was more out there. Perhaps the Protheans had other plans.
This is as close to foreshadowing as we're going to get for the things we learn about in Mass Effect 3.
I guess you could interpret that as a build-up to the Crucible and perhaps Javik as well.
I had no idea what to expect when we finally found him. But I researched pre-spaceflight cultures during some of my Prothean studies. I know a bit about the Yogg. There's more on the terminals if you want to look. They're a fascinating culture, and a terrifying one.
Yogg culture can be summed up as they view equality as an insult. There can only be one top dog.
There would be no place for them in the Citadel races.
Of course there is, they would just be at the top.
I don't know. He wants to work, so I'm letting him help. Maybe
All right, let's ask the real questions.
So, you and Farron?
No. He's been through a traumatic ordeal. He's emotionally fragile and needs to heal.
That's valid.
He's very grateful to me for saving him. but it would be irresponsible of me to take advantage of that.
That's crazy. We save or help out most of the people we can be potentially romantically involved with.
One of those people is right here in front of us.
She's a friend. I can't leave for too long, but spending all my time on this ship.
I'm glad you want a friend, Liara. We're going to have to stop holding hands, though.
Come up to the Normandy.
No better time than the present.
Sounds great. Why don't you come up now?
Okay, thanks. I'll be right there. Just give me a minute.
Oh shit, we're pouring out the wine and everything.
Well, this is awkward. Liara's coming in with this nice-ass dress and we're wearing a fucking hoodie.
It's like she's trying to show us what we're missing out on by not romancing her last game.
Trust me, I'm well aware, but sacrifices had to be made.
Ship, and I ran into Joker. He seemed happy to see me. Although, he did ask if I'd embraced eternity lately.
Of course he did.
My boy Joker has his mind in the right place.
I also spoke with Dr. Chakwas. I'm glad she's doing well. I brought you something. It took some digging, but...
How did our tags survive the fall to the planet without a scratch?
The tags have an image of the Normandy SR-1.
I thought I'd never see these again.
They changed hands more than once. Do you remember Admiral Hackett?
Did you just ask us if we remember one of our major authority figures? The guy who gave us side missions all of the first game?
To be fair, Hackett was a faceless voice in the first game. And with the wait between 2 and 3, it's understandable people might not remember him.
Not what you tell your squad to keep morale up.
Honestly, things are going pretty smoothly considering we fucking died.
I'm okay. Really. It's been rough.
Don't let the progressively worsening scars and the glowing red eyes fool you.
Those idiots on the council won't admit it. There wouldn't be a man, woman, or child left on Horizon, if not for you.
If you think what happened to Horizon this game is bad, wait until what happens to it in Mass Effect 3.
Horizon was bait.
Those bastards.
They'd have hit another world if we hadn't lured them there, but aren't you going to tell me not to work with them?
I gave them your body, remember?
That's a good point.
If only that rat bastard Caden could have had even an ounce of Liara's confidence in us.
It definitely did not help the reception of the Vermeer survivor that Rex, Tali, Garrus, and Liara either decide to help us, or are reasonably understanding of our current arrangement, while they are outwardly hostile about it until halfway through Mass Effect 3.
Too bad we didn't have Tali locked in yet. We could have said we were fighting for her.
Mercs, Geth, Varen, Thresher Maws. Some days it's like the whole damn galaxy is trying to kill me.
Well, Shepard, don't worry. Soon we'll have to fight a giant Reaper on foot with nothing more than a sinking laser.
Back to my base, but thanks for inviting me up, Shepard.
Seems kind of f***ed up to have Liara come up here in that dress, pour some wine, and then that's it.
If we weren't going after Tali, this would definitely be one of those situations where you look back and realized you missed something.
Come back soon.
We'll see her in about 4 more episodes.
Well, there you have it. We've wrapped up the DLC missions and we're heading back to the main plot.
3 more episodes to go. Isn't that right, Barry?
Yep, next time will be Joe's last episode. He's going to get us through Zaid's loyalty mission and the Derelict Reaper.
I forgot I had to play that garbage.
Only 3 more episodes left and I'm running away with the desk competition.
Go ahead and gloat while you can, Donald. You know the drill. Stay safe out there, drink plenty of water, get some sleep, and we'll see you on the next one.